You're listening to WCR Westchester 91.7 The Curve with the Paige and Joy Show. I'm Paige.
And I'm Joy.
And today with us we have Cody and Kali Ma. Okay. Wasn't sure if you wanted me to call you
Kali Ma's my artist name. I go by Cody and I like mark everything as Cody Miller, but yeah, my artist name is Cody for this, or Kali Ma for this project.
Okay. Sorry about that. So, basically, what kind of music do you make?
I make indie electronic dance music. I sample a lot, so I pull sounds from lots of different places, like literally anywhere, and use those pieces to make bigger songs. And of course, do my own automation and instrument recording and stuff. But if there's one vein that connects everything, it's all really dancey. And when I play live, like I imagine a basement. I was talking to Joy earlier, a basement full of kids jumping around and dancing and, you know, doing things.
Have you ever played at, like, any parties here?
Yeah, of course. I played, really, most of the shows I played, and the best shows I played have been Westchester basement shows. You get, like, a lot of college kids in a basement, stuff them full, get a big PA and some loud music. And, I mean, it's better. I've had more fun there than I have playing the Note, you know, like the Note, to have a full venue. I mean, it's more important to have a full venue than it is to have a lot of people. Yeah. So it's better to play a basement show with 30 people than it is to play the Note with 50 people, because it takes, like, 100 people to have half the floor covered, you know?
So how does that translate into the future for you?
How does that translate into the future? I don't know. I mean, I've been doing more stuff like this, communicating with more people in the industry, making a lot of contacts, meeting a lot of other bands who are doing similar things, other artists, producers who are doing similar things. So really just the community of musicians and music industry people have been pretty supportive, and I think working through that and establishing those connections is how I'm going to move forward.
So do you see yourself doing big outdoor kinds of shows, or do you want to try to keep it in that, like, enclosed location?
Well, I think there's something special about being in a tight, sweaty space with a lot of people.
There is.
I'm not going to say, I mean, if I could fit, 200 people into a medium-sized space and for it to be tight and sweaty, then that would be even better. So yeah, I mean, I'm totally open to play just about anywhere. I mean, it's really simple for me. I can fit, my new setup, I can fit everything I need into a backpack, so, besides speakers and amps and all that stuff. So, yeah, really, anywhere I can show up and play.
Cool. So, stereotypical question, who's your inspiration, if any?
Just kidding, not Radiohead. Actually, Dan Deacon, he's a Baltimore artist, electronic musician. He's one of my favorites. If it weren't for him, I probably wouldn't have started playing electronic music, because he was kind of one of the electronic musicians who taught me that there's more to electronic music than 127 beats per minute, 140 beats per minute with kicks on 2 and 4. And showed me that, like, I mean, it's just the perfect genre. I mean, I just consider electronic music a genre because you can fill any frequency with any conceivable sound if you know how to make it on a synthesizer. And
that's pretty interesting.
So that's, like, really what drew me to electronic music in the first place and got me out of playing in, hardcore bands. So Dan Deacon, absolutely. Animal Collective, I would have to cite. I mean, I really love their, writing skill. I mean, their composition is just better than any, like, stereotypical pop song, but they still have that, like, pop dance sensibility. So, like, I really appreciate that and try to emulate that somehow. And, of course, Crystal Castles, because they're just tough as hell.
I love Crystal Castles.
Seeing them live is just, like, one of the best experiences I've ever had at a concert.
You've seen them live?
Oh, yeah.
I'm so jealous. I haven't seen them live yet.
If they come around, you have no choice but not to go see them.
All right, I definitely would have to pick up tickets.
So, I mean, as far as just, like, tough, heavy video game sounds that I incorporate into my music.
Like Nintendo chord?
Yeah, actually, one of my older EPs, the first EP that I really would consider, like, Kali Ma together as a cohesive project and not just me, like, releasing songs here and there, was a Siddhartha EP. And that was more or less, like, entire 20 minutes written in, like, video game indie style. So it was so that's where I started, and I'm moving away from that now as I'm, like, really starting to understand sound. I'm really starting to get into bass, whereas before I was kind of just like high frequency bells that just make you, you're like pour out of your chest with rainbows and all that good stuff. Feel a little
tingly.
Yeah, and now I'm kind of going into the bass sounds that fill up your chest and vibrate your chest.
So this was
rainbows pour out that way.
This is like a learning experience for you?
Yeah, I mean, every EP that I write is a learning experience. That's typically what I do. I guess I should say that. I release EPs, not really full albums. I get hit with inspiration whenever whatever happens decides to hit me with inspiration, and I write between 10 and 15 minutes of music that sounds like a particular sound, particular style, and it always, once again, has the same vein of dance and the same sort of instrumentation, but that's kind of as much as I can write before I hit a creative block. And just need to do something else. So it's always changing. Like every time you see me, I probably have a new EP release, and there's going to be like 3 new songs in my set that kind of slowly morph my live set into new things.
Okay. Right now, I have something up here on the Bandcamp website, Analog Original Mix, or do you want to do the Droid Dafter?
Well, my most recent EP, Analog EP, it's just two tracks and 2 remixes, 2 original tracks by me, and then those other 2 were 2 musicians who I work with, played shows with. They did remixes of those songs. So if you want to listen to my song, then I would go with the original mix.
Okay, well then...
Either of those first 2.
Right now, we're going to take a listen to it, and then we'll come back with some more questions. You're listening to WCOR 91.7 The Curve, and we are back with Kali Ma.
Hi.
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 Hi. So we were just talking about this, is it like a program or?
A series, an electronic music showcase series is what we're calling it. But you know, you can put like any tag on anything, and it could be any other thing. So I could describe it for you.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
It's called Church Electronic Music Showcases. We're on Facebook and like YouTube and Vimeo and all those other good things. We get together every first and third Sunday of the month. That's why it's called Church. And we do showcases of local, I mean, not just local, Westchester, Philadelphia, Delaware, Baltimore, East Coast sort of electronic music acts. And we try to do things that are like non-typical of electronic music. I mean, you can go to Philadelphia and you can go to Soundgarden Hall and, you know, 10,000 people will show up for a DJ who they've never heard before. Mm-hmm. And it's more about like, I mean, and like not to get anyone down, like you're into what you're into, like if you're there for the experience and not for the music, then like that's on you. But this is about the music, and I only book artists that I think are doing something that's interesting that no one else is doing. And yeah, so we're doing that, probably 2 artists a month. Everything's streamed online, like I said. You can find all that information online at Facebook. So it's like a live video stream along with the audio, and then the next day we release like a high quality video with the audio along. So the goal is we're hoping that after a while, after doing enough of these, the common exposure and networking between all the musicians will make Church become an entity unto itself. If you do a Church set, you're going to have, you know, 10,000 views on YouTube or Vimeo or whatever, and it's like a mutual exposure thing for everybody.
That's awesome.
So what makes your music unique from everything else?
I guess
it's a tricky one.
I'm not any better than any other producer who's making music right now in any way at all as far as technical ability. All that I can do is arrange sounds in a way that no one else has before.
Right.
So really my goal, I'd say more so, is to do something different, combine sounds in an interesting way, present indie music in a DJ scene. I guess that's sort of what I'm trying to do right now. But so yeah, I'll say that, just like try to be different, stand out amongst, you know, the infinity of saturation of internet waves that are made up with shitty EDM music.
Right.
Which really, like, that's really what Church is. It's just a response to a music scene that I'm not really into very much. And I think as soon as people get to see these experimental electronic musicians, they're really gonna dig it. I mean, last night, I guess I should have mentioned this, last night was the first Church event. And it was a small event. These things are invite only because it's more about the stream and getting things out there. And we're kind of just having like small parties, like amongst friends. But everyone was really, really into it. And we had a really great time. I played last night. I'm not gonna play every time. Probably gonna play like, you know, every couple months or whatever. I did the first one because we wanted to, like, if there was gonna be any problems, I wanted it to be for me and not for the person who I brought to come book. And Nick Beliris, another Westchester student, played last night as well. He was absolutely incredible. He does really, really cool bass music. Really cool beats. But so yeah, in the next day or two, we should be posting the video of his set last night, and I'll be posting the audio of my set on my SoundCloud, soundcloud.com/KalimaOfficial.
All right. Oh my gosh, I lost my train of thought.
EP.
Oh yeah, that's right. You had a new PE that just released, what, like a couple days ago?
Yeah, I mean, it just released last Monday. It was like a week ago. A week from today, actually. Yeah.
And how many songs did that have, and what can we expect from it?
The EP is only 4 tracks, and
we just played some.
Yeah, those 2 tracks that you guys just played were my 2 original mixes from the track, from the EP. Track 3 and 4 are actually remixes from 2 friends of mine, Connor and Droid Daughter. They were actually the Delhi, Philadelphia's Band of the Month last month. Really, really incredible. He's like an 18-year-old prodigy. He's making like Flying Lotus style beats, and like I mean, I don't want to say he's as good as Flying Lotus, but he's not as good as Flying Lotus.
Yeah. He's up there.
Yeah, he's pretty fantastic. And also my friend Arnab, he just started a new project called Master Oni. It's kind of like dubstep, like more mainstream dubstep, but also like with an interesting. He has his own spin on things as well. He's into like video games and adventure. He has an Adventure Time remix that's off the hook. Yeah. So.
Random question: would you ever consider like putting lyrics in your music, or is it just straight synthesizers and beats?
Well, the most recent EP didn't have any lyrics in it. That was heavier. That was made for the sweaty basement crowd. That's really what I wanted, like some more stuff to put into my live set that I was into. But I have done vocals in my music before.
Oh, really?
My last EP, Sakandega EP, one I released in just January of this year, I believe it was. Oh no, it was February. It was on my birthday. That's right, February 26th. I released it on my birthday. That one actually included some of my vocals, only some clean vocals, because I don't have a particularly good voice. Like I can hear something and know if it's in key or not, but I'm not a good singer. So I just did like a lot of like hoo ha hoo 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 ha hoo and crazy stuff like that. And
do you ever have any other singers?
Yeah, I actually do. My friend Christina Klaproth. Have you guys ever heard the band Tutley? They were from Westchester originally, but yeah, they're in Philadelphia now. They're like a really awesome indie pop band, make like fairy sounds, like 2 like gorgeous girls, like they're. And Christina, I'm really close with, and she is a beautiful, beautiful voice, and I can't have like pieces of her MP3s floating around without just making something that's better than anything I could ever do by myself. So some of my favorite songs I've done have actually been collaborations with this person and a few others.
Do you have any of those we could show online?
Oh yeah, I mean there's lots of stuff on my SoundCloud. If you go on my Bandcamp, go to Sakandega EP on the right.
Right there. Okay.
And you can play, if you play track 1, it's called Great Lake. That's like probably more my indie route of things, my less DJ style stuff, but it still works its way in my set. So yeah, give it a listen. This has my vocals on it.
Okay, well, coming up is Great Lake by Kali Ma, and then I guess we can just play the one after that, which is Skiff Road.
Skip that one.
Skip that one?
It's just like a groove. That was like made just like basically to play live. Like I almost didn't put it in the record, but the third track is actually like a full song.
Okay, well then I lied. We're just gonna play Great Lake then.
I'm a mess. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. That was Great Lake by Kali Ma. And do you have any upcoming projects you want to tell us about?
Yeah, I'm always working on new music, so there's always something in the mix. I don't really have a concept for what this next EP album is going to be yet. There's always a concept, like Asakandega, that was a concept. Siddhartha was based on Herman Hesse's book, Siddhartha. Analog was kind of my experience in using just that analog sound rather than computer digital sounds. I've since bought an analog synthesizer, and I've been working with just taking my microphone and hitting a beer bottle with my knife, and those sounds are what makes it into my music. So I'm not sure what the next one's gonna be, but I guess I could tell you about what sounds are influencing it. I've been listening to a lot of UK bass and UK garage. So I'm really digging that deep stuff, without many mids and some hi-hats and stuff like that. And at the same time, I'm also really into indie. And like I said, I've been working with samples of other vocalists and stuff, and that turns into pretty much straight dance, indie pop. And yeah, so I'm not sure what the new EP is going to sound like, but it's definitely going to be a lot deeper. It's probably going to be almost entirely analog. And yeah, just keep an eye open for when I'm playing, because I'll definitely go play the new tracks live before I release them. But you're not going to hear the finalized tracks online or to download until they're all ready.
Do you have any upcoming shows that we could possibly go to?
Yeah, absolutely. On 4/20, there's a Papadozio show. There's a Papadozio show at the Blockley, and I'm playing the after party for that show at a private space in Philadelphia. If anyone wants to come, they can hit me up on Facebook. All my social media is Kali Ma Official, so facebook.com/Kali Ma Official. If you hit me up on there, I can get you directions and give you more information about that. I'm also playing JR's Bar in Philadelphia on April 25th. And I have a few other things in the works, but probably not anything I'm ready to say officially yet, because lineups aren't official.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. What appeals to me about the whole thing, because I'm an art minor, my associates is in art, and I love art. I'm not really that good at it, but it's just that you're taking all these sounds, your knife hitting your bottle, or and I remember watching in elementary, we had a guy come in that could play the spoons, and I can just see that those sorts of things, they all get worked together, and what you have is what you said earlier. You have sort of a texture of sounds, and that's really awesome. Do you ever add anything that you can tell what it is that you're doing?
Well, the thing is, I used to make sound conventionally. I would download a bunch of drum samples from the deadmau5 drum kit or whatever, and pull really traditional electronic music sounds. And then once I started using those and putting them together and figured out what it took, what kind of sounds I needed to make the songs that I want to make, then I kind of just took everything and thought backwards, and that's when I started using my microphone and start recording my own samples. Instead of going downloading a hi-hat sample, I'll just take my drumstick and hit my hi-hat. And by doing that, I really feel like the sound is more my own than other people's sounds.
It's a lot more creative.
And yeah, a lot more creative, and it gives me way more freedom for creative expression and way more. It's kind of bothers me a little bit when I was making in my early days when I was making heavy dubstep. That's what I got in on, so I can't talk shit on it. It was there, it was me. That's what I was doing, and I was using the same programs that all the famous people who made dubstep were using, and I was like, well, shit, no wonder all these songs sound the same. People are literally using the same programs to make carbon copies of the same kind of song. So by doing this, I really feel like I'm being able to take control of my music like I wasn't when I was first getting into things.
Now for your live shows, it's all recorded, right?
Live shows, I do sort of a combo. I don't want to call it DJ set, because I do live. I also create sounds. I bring my synthesizer and create live sounds. Okay. I'm gonna call it live electronic, but I do a continuous, what's called a continuous DJ mix. So I have sound for 20 to 30, 40 minutes, however long the set is, and it's nonstop and building and dropping and mixing all sorts of stuff together. It's really cool. It's really fun.
It would be really cool if you could orchestrate a large group of people to do a live, actually making the sounds
that would be a serious dream
project
of mine. It would be a serious project, and I would love to do that. I would really love to do that. I can't imagine that I would find 8 people willing to devote that time to me and my
whacking some objects.
Yeah, to whacking objects and fooling around with synthesizers. That's why I like to do.
Hey, you never know. There's lots of other creative-minded people out there. I think I would do it, to be honest. All right. Well, anything you'd like to? Oh, you know what? I did want to ask. Where does Kali Ma come from?
Oh, well, Kali Ma, if I'm being honest, Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. I'm an Indiana Jones freak. Like, I mean, I have all of his posters on my wall, like in my bedroom right now at home, and he's been like my hero for like, my entire
Indiana
life.
Jones.
Yeah,
No
so do
shame
I.
there.
So I took that. I mean, really, I just wanted something that was like short and simple and stuck in your mind, and was also like aesthetically pleasing. And I think Kali Ma is very aesthetically pleasing. And so yeah, just like all those things put together. And yeah, I really don't have a deep reason for that. I just like Indiana Jones.
And that's okay. All right.
Okay, well, thank you for coming here today.
Thank you, Paige and Joy. You guys are wonderful. Thank you for having me out here. It's been really great. And this wasn't like terrible at all. I was worried it was going to be because I'm such like a nervous wreck. But you guys made it easy.
No, you're fun. You're fun.
Thank you, guys.
You're welcome. And be sure to check out Kali Ma on his SoundCloud. Check out his music, soundcloud.com/KaliMaOfficial. And also check him out on Facebook also. So
Thank you, guys.